Hey guys. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back to my channel, Pretty Politico, where we talk all things pop culture, politics, where we break down news, strategy, logic, and a little bit of side eye if necessary. I'm your host, Nico Nicole, and this is Politickin with Nico. We have a lot to cover today, but first, let's handle some house cleaning. Make sure you guys follow me on all platforms TikTok, the blue sky, where the skies are blue and it's not dark over there. No dark mega. And right here on YouTube if you haven't already. Hit that like button now. It tells the algorithm that you want more of this content and it helps others like us find one another. Also, if you guys are interested, please put your pages as well. I love to support my community the way that they've supported me. So feel free to drop your links as well so I can subscribe to you also. If you're here, that means you're a logical thinker, strategic thinker, not someone easily swayed by emotion because we analyze, we process, and we move accordingly. So let's just get right into it. First things first, I want to say Happy Black History Month Extended Edition? Or is it Happy Black History National Black History Month, y'all? You know, now Trump has said he's extending Black History Month to the whole nation. The whole nation? He's calling it National Black History Month. Look, I don't know what angle he's working, but I do know history tell us to stay vigilant. Because you know, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Speaking of history, we got some MLK files that are going to be released soon. I know some of y'all are bracing yourselves, but remember, do not be moved. We've been here before. The truth has a way of always revealing itself. And for my folks still processing, the state of the country, whether you're relaxed or a little anxious, remember this too shall pass. I did a survey on my community tab and I asked how everyone was feeling and what everybody was going through. And it was about 50-50 between I'm okay and I'm nervous, a few sprinkle into I'm confused. So I think we all are feeling that bubble burst, I like to call it, that's happening where we're just kind of filled up with all this anxiety and uncertainty. And eventually it's all going to come popping. It's all going to come to fruition. Everything in the dark, as I said, will come to light. So we just have to continue to stay vigilant amongst these times. And so I just want you guys to remember to stay focused, stay educated, and protect your peace. In the comments, I saw a mention of what kind, because I mentioned that, we need to stay vigilant and continue to read books. And someone asked me what books would I recommend. So I have you. I have to tell you guys what books because to me, reading is fundamental. And when I saw the comment for book recommendations, I said, y'all know I'm going to have to drop some gems. So first up for me is going to be by Octavia Butler, Kindred and Parable of Sour. Kindred is a book that takes place in antebellum South and a mixture of the modern day. So a woman is transported into the antebellum South where she has to face the realities of the tormenting that her ancestors went through, as well as Parable of a Sour is actually set in today's world in 2024. It has is a diary of a young girl who is talking about post kind of revolution and evolution of what America has become. And it's really eerie because we're actually in it now. It's like she predicted the future. And I read this book back in 2020 and I was already, but to see the progression and the slow brew, that's the thing about Parable of Sour. It's sower, sorry. Parable of Sower is not this big huge change in the world where aliens came to take us. It's just a slow progression of political changes that leads us where we are now. And some irony is the township in which the author Octavia Butler was born in LA was actually just burned down. So yeah, a little bit of conspiracy theory there for you. My next book that I recommend is I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings, by Maya Angelou. For just understanding resilience through a dark time. If she can overcome what she became mute at 9 years old after being assaulted by a family member, and she vowed to herself that she would never speak again. And as we know, Maya Angelou did speak again, and it's her beautiful journey of how she got there. The next book that I believe is something that isn't very important for the mindset is it's a book by Joel Osteen called The Power of I Am. I know Joel Osteen, but I like the guy, so I would recommend reading his book The Power of I Am, just because a person is not always favorable. I still think you can find gems in anything, which you'll find I'll talk about a little bit later as well. Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert for the creative inspiration of you guys. I don't just want you guys to get so sucked into the politics of things that you lose your creativity, your inspiration, because that's, as humanity, what drives us, what keeps us going. Next up is Atomic Habits. I know you guys all know this book by James Clear. It's just talking about taking small steps to make big changes. And I think a lot of us are there right now. We have to make these small changes to that are going to completely impact our lives later on. Next up is Their Eyes Are Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. It's just a classic. You have to read it. If you haven't, just it's a beautiful book. Tell It on the Mountain by James Baldwin, because Baldwin, he's always necessary. Half of a Yellow Sun, by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, African History and Resilience. Another book is called Extraordinarily Ordinary People by Condoleezza Rice. It's just a different perspective than on a black woman in America, and why she decided to become a Republican, and why black people in the Republican Party have that particular mindset. Last but not least, you guys probably, and this goes back to what I was saying before, wouldn't have expected this one, but I do want you to read Money Secrets by Donald Trump. Yes, him. I know, but it's very important to know your opponent's playbook. Stay reading, stay learning, because a sharp mind is a dangerous weapon. Or in the words of my grandma, a mind is a terrible thing to lose. So please keep those books in mind. I'll put all these books in the description bar later today.
I said, hey boy, sitting tree. Mommy always wants you to come for tea. Don't be shy, straighten like the town, sit down in my tree house, look to the sky. I know just what to do. It's a very big, it's a room for two. I got a house with the windows and doors, I'll show you mine. Hey! I need that hair. That hair is so cute. Hey, yay. Hey, hey, whoa, whoa. Hey, girl, let's get lemon drops tonight. I have Pilates class later, but we definitely need to try that new area. I want to try my hair. I'm thinking like blonde at the ends, and then maybe like brown, and then starting at the roots, my natural color, Monday, I'm waiting. Tuesday, I'm fading. Okay, see. Ooh! I'll be there.
I had to show you guys that clip because it's so true. That's how we have to be right now. So I hope that the 92%, you guys are just kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Party on down to the escape beat, just kicking it, just kicking it, just kicking it. And I just feel like it's just so important for us to do that right now and maintain that creativity I was telling you guys about, that positivity I was telling you guys about, and just kick off your shoes and relax, because a lot of us right now, we're over here We are over here and taking Hillman classes on TikTok. We are having so much fun on TikTok University. People are just having a good time. I'm taking a few classes on from the original creator of Hillman Talk, so to speak, which is Dr. Barlow. I'm also taking a course on Octavia Butler. I'm taking a mindfulness course and a storytelling course, and I've been really enjoying myself. It's just a bit of a much needed escape on my timeline. Remember, the tides are turning. We are, as an American society, going to be 200. We are currently 248 years old. I keep reminding you all of this, and in on July of 2025, we will be 249, and respectively in 2026, we will be 250 years old. Empires typically only last 250 years before major shifts occur. We are in that shift. So please rest up before you have to get up. So let's just enjoy this time to my 92%. 92, you know how we do. So please, please just take it easy on yourselves and don't let nothing stress. I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, talking till the day I die. And walking till the day I die. Something like that. All right, y'all. Next up, we are talking about Irv Gotti. So you guys know this is pop politics. So it'll all tie in. Just bear with me. Just hang on with me, baby. Okay. So health is wealth. As you guys know, Irv Gotti passed away of a stroke, but apparently it was diabetes related. And Trump's healthcare moves now kind of coincide with this to me. Let's talk about how it affects us all, our health. We lost Irv Gotti at the young age of 54. That's young, y'all, you know? Allegedly, like I said, it was diabetes played a role, and this is a personal because Black Americans are disproportionately affected by diabetes. But here's the ticker. Trump is out here messing with healthcare again. He's targeting pre-existing condition clauses in the Affordable Care Act, which means diabetes may not be covered in the future. And who does that hurt? It hurts us. Food deserts, medical costs, lack of access, it is all by design. So, what do we do? What is our move? We prioritize our health now. We stay informed about healthcare policies. We support our local politicians who actually care about affordable healthcare. Do not wait until it's too late. And I don't want you guys out there not voting again. It's so important for all of us. Can I talk to you about religion? You can, but not right now. We can talk about it later. We can talk about it later. I'll leave a section in the end for Q&A. If you stay around, we'll talk about it because I have a lot to get through today. So I want everybody to hear everything that has to be said, and then if there's room left for Q&A, we'll discuss that because I do have to run in a little bit. But I'm always open to talk about religion. If you guys want to talk to me outside of here, you can reach me on Blue Sky or you can DM me on TikTok, same name, Pretty Politico. Yeah, so we will get back to the mention at hand. But if you guys want to talk to me personally about your religious beliefs and things like that, feel free to do that. Feel free to do that. Just send me a message over on TikTok and we can talk about all things, any questions you have. Just right now, I'm on a tight frame. I have to get through these slides and we have to move on to, the things I want to give to my audience today. Okay, let's move on. So we're going to talk quickly about Project 2025. But thank you for your question about religion. I'm a PK baby, so yes, always can talk about religion. I'm a PK. All right, next up, Project 2025. PK means preacher kid, by the way. Project 2025 The real agenda here, let's talk about it a little bit, because they are not playing with us. I know you guys heard a few things about Project 2025 as this big scary mandate, and it is just a slow progression of the playbook they want to put in play. Everyone has access to it, so I implore you to go read it for yourselves. There's also YouTubers who read it for you, which is kind of how I learned about it. I was watching this YouTuber. She would go over every chapter and she would read it to us. If I can remember her name, I will put it in the chat, but do not hold me to that one. But yeah, I recently saw that they are opening up Guantanamo Bay, and it's back in business, and it's just not for our foreign enemies anymore. It's currently where our deportees are being sent. And if you guys know, Guantanamo Bay is one of the most vile, vicious prisons in the world. So I really feel sad that the deportees are being sent there, because that's a bit inhumane, especially for people who may have had crimes, yes, may have not had crimes, maybe children and families, but also it's not for the most violent of predators like Guantanamo has intentionally been for. These are some people who've had petty crimes as well, or just were working at, like the Coca-Cola thing the other day, were working at the wrong place, um and their people set them up for, deportation by ICE. So also, Donald Trump talks about reforming Gaza beachfront property. He talked to Netanyahu, and Donald Trump had a press conference, and they are saying they're going to move all of Palestine out. That's another part of just the Project 2025, in terms of the ideology that any person of color is a second class citizen, and it's America first, which means really weepos first, right? White people first. Birthright citizen is on the chopping blocks. And while some folks thinks it's just about immigrants, the whole F around and find out thing, is actually not just going to affect them, but this all started with us. The 14th Amendment gave formerly enslaved Africans full citizen. They can undo it for one group, they can undo it for all of us. See, the play before is run. You have to. It's so important. DEI is under attack, and so are black businesses. Let's talk about that a little bit more. Let's talk about money. Trump's administration is slashing federal costs for black owned businesses. DEI programs dismantled. Federal jobs, we hold a higher percentage than them in them than of corporate America. And when they start cutting from the top, guess who gets hit first? Black Americans. More black Americans are in federal jobs than any other job. We have to start thinking ahead. If government contracts dry up, how will you sustain yourself? You have to have collaboration. You have to have contracts. Think about it, how a lot of the black business owners complain about not being able to create beauty supply stores, even though the bulk of beauty supply clientele are black American women. But because they don't have access to the vendors, and when they do create a black owned business in their communities, they're cut out quickly, because they're able to call home and say don't sell to this particular person, even if they use a pseudo person, or if they get another Asian American person to do the ordering for them. Eventually, those persons are reprimanded, and the black owner of the beauty supply store is pushed out. That's going to be the same thing with the federal contracts and things like housing rehabilitation, or local programs in your community, and things like that, like a women's shelter. If you need grant funding for all of those things in black communities or brown communities, you're not going to be able to get them, because they're not going to deem them as necessary. They're going to see it as wasteful spending. That's the difference. So we have to start thinking ahead, start looking at alternative industries, build networks that don't rely on government contracts, support and invest in black businesses. For example, Jamal Bryant calls for a 40-day fast from Target, and Al Sharpton's talking about taking communities to Costco, because the economic fallout is coming, and it will be intentional. So we have to be intentional where our black dollars go as well. And if you see here, Project 2025 would destroy the US system of checks and balances and create an imperial presidency. And you see that happening. This was written in October 2024 before the election happened. And as you see, it's all coming to fruition because they had a plan with Project 2025 and they're pursuing their plan. Now we have to make sure we create an intentional plan as well. Somebody who's not benefiting from these intentional plans like they thought they would, though. Let's talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it. What's his name? Jamal. I call him Jamal Bryant. What is this? What is this guy? Byron Donalds. That's his name. Byron Donalds from the GP, who tried to take on the token role. Super anti DEI is now effing around and finding out. Yeah, and see this here? It says everybody's frustrated with him. They think he's rude and they think he is too direct, antagonistic, and things like that. These are what white people are saying about him. Just like they call black women aggressive, now they're now calling Byron aggressive. And it's so funny because he's been on them because he thought he was going to get a position. He's realizing that his role of heads of agency has been passed over by Ron DeSantis, who distances himself from him. He thought Ron would put him in a better position, but they passed him over and over. He also thought he was going to be the governor of Florida, but as you can see, they passed him over for that. He chucked and he jived and he cooned for nothing in return. But I think he's acting up in um right now in the conferences in the Capitol because he's gunning for that Speaker of the House position. But I don't think they're going to allow him to do that. I don't think they're going to allow him. And the governor of Florida, did we forget that Florida is a stand your ground state? You think they're gonna let him be the speaker of that? I doubt it. So he's kind of in the territory of his own. And the craziest thing is Vivek, on the other hand, which I'll talk about a little later, he's been positioned to be under Elon. They left Byron Donalds just out to dry, the same way they did Candace Owens. Because what Kanye said, Bush doesn't care about somebody, some kind of people. So, and he found out. So, election 2025, the game is not over yet. There are some midterm elections coming up this year that you guys should be looking out for, because we still have a dog in this fight. As you see, Republicans will control Congress, but there is a slim House majority that may trim their ambitions. Now, I know some of y'all are over politics, like my man here said in the comments. He said, bro, bruh. To be honest, politics ain't that deep. You know, a lot of people feel that way, right? And that's my accent, bro. I don't say bro, like not like that. So I just want you guys to know that I know some of you guys are over politics, but listen, this next election is critical. Right now, Republicans have control of Congress, but there are 3 open seats in the House. If Democrats flip them, the balance shifts. It's such extremely narrow margins that could throw the chamber into a gridlock if Republicans lawmakers even miss a vote or are absent due to illness. Isn't that crazy? There's even a scenario where Democrats could have more votes on the floor than Republicans if several members are out. And let's be real, black voter turnout, especially among men, has been low. 18%. That is not enough. We want to protect our rights, our businesses, our healthcare, so we have to show up. So let's start preparing now. Get registered now. Know your local candidates. Spread the word because they count on us not showing up. And just them missing out and getting sick could flip a vote. And this is something that right now Democrats have to count on. The American people have to count on because even those FAFOs, they want to see this flipped as well because a lot of people are having buyer remorse. Let's just do a little bit of a culture check just to kind of cool things down. I know you guys love politics, but this is pop politics. Let's talk about it. the elephant in the room, that is Miss Beyonce, knows. The Grammys and the bigger picture is that Beyonce won Country Album of the Year and Country Album of the Year and Album of the Year. And some folks thinks it's a distraction. Maybe it is, but let's clock the game. They need an enemy. They've gone after DEI is dead. Affirmative action is gone. Black Lives Matter. What's that? All lives matter. What? Are you kidding me? So now they need something new. And this all black, blackity, black, black, black Grammy, and then Kendrick gonna be singing Not Like Us moment gives them the ammo that they need. But let's be smart. Don't give them reaction they're looking for. Keep your energy focused on real battles. Do not be out here being Crispus Atticus. Do not be that guy. Stay your behinds home. Do like that I showed you in the first video with the girl dancing. Be like the 92%. Summon the 92%. Relax, relate, release. Relax, relate, release. In my Donald Trump voice. Relax, relate, release. And don't get caught up in the mess. Because that's what they want. Soon as we attack, soon as we come out on the front lines, that's when they're going to bring out the tear gas and the military gear. As long as we stay out of it and we mind our business that pays us, things will stay cool because they will have to, leopards will eat their own faces. Okay. This, all of this information from the Beyonce, the Grammys being super bleak, 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 biggity black for the first time in a million years from being wiggity, wiggity white. And these plane crashes and all this chaos. It's called muzzle velocity. Is something that um Steve Bannon talked about. And it's something that he taught Trump in his 2020 campaign. So as you guys know, two planes crashed over airspace in DC Potomac area. 67 people died. The video shows that a Black Hawk helicopter traveling at 200 feet collided with the plane that was headed towards landing strip, hitting the plane directly in the middle. There were no survivors. There were people from China and Russian security, as well as a sports team, including a young sports team of ice skaters. So rest their souls, rest their peace, praying for all those families. Then, just as of today, there was a plane crash in Brazil killing two. And the other day, there was a plane collision with Japan and Delta Airlines on the tarmac. And like I said before, they call this the muzzle velocity, which is the news outlets can only pick up about 2 to 3 stories per hour. And if there are big, huge stories like this, it inundates the news media outlets. And thus, what's happening is the people then can go pass laws, sign executive orders in silence. Okay? Something that Trump was taught by Steve Bannon during his first campaign. So it reminds me of the movie Leave the World Behind. It's a movie produced by Barack Obama. It's on Netflix. And in the first scenes of the movie, when they realized that the world was changing, the planes were falling off from the sky. So it was eerily familiar to what we're seeing right now. This leads me to the article that is out for the New York Times. If you guys haven't seen it, I have this on my community tab so you guys can take a look. I posted it in my stories and on my community tab where it talks about the cruel kids. I made the comparison that their parents would be Claire and Dion from Clueless. So it makes sense to me that they would want to be above it all. Humility is what they don't care about. Humility, they don't care about being anti-woke, they don't care about anti-purity, they don't they're kind of don't care about morality. So this is what Don Lemon talked about in his thing. He said they're anti-humility, they're anti-woke, they're anti-purity, they're anti-morality. They are just above all of it. Like everything's a joke to them. Like there's a Don Lemon post a picture of a video of a kid who went up to homeless people and gave them all fake $100 bills. That kind of cruelty. Which they find it hilarious. They think it's funny. They think homelessness is funny. And this is the mindset of the clueless kids. I know I had a few people combat me with that and got a little upset with the comparison. But maybe yes, Claire did have a character arc, but I'm thinking about the characters surrounding Claire. Did they ever have this character arc? No, they remained, superficial and above it all. And so that's what we're seeing, the result of that mindset and those people who raised these crew kids, the crew what's the other movie, Cruel Intentions, raised the crew kids. Those kids who went to that private school are raising these new above it all kids. And that's what you're seeing even with somebody like a Baron. Or even I will add that in a recent interview that I saw by Ye, formerly Kanye, he's asked why he's naming his upcoming album Bully. It's mentioned that he saw his son kick a kid and asked why he did that. His son replied, because he's weak. And Ye, in retrospect, thought, wow, this kid is really a bully. And that is it. It encapsulates the mindset of the modern generation, the Xers raising modern Gen Z and raising Generation Alphas. They are meant to be strong and they are meant to eat the weak. It also reminds me of this clip.
Or just throw in here or something? Yeah, I guess so. All right, well, I got mini-me here.
It certainly is.
Mini-me, you complete me.
I started this
You're getting, you have the general vibe.
Yeah,
foreign space acts and quietly just do whatever we want.
Or just throw in here or something? Yeah, I guess so.
I'm gonna play that one more time.
Or just throw in here or something? Yeah, I guess so. All right, well, I got mini-me here.
It certainly is.
Mini-me, you complete me.
I started this
You're getting, you have the general vibe.
Yeah,
foreign space acts and quietly just do whatever we want.
And there you have it. What did he say? He said first before space tax, and finally do whatever we want to do. Same concept as the bully. And Elon and Kanye at one point were friends. I don't know if they're still friends. I imagine they still are. And so that's the mindset of their youth. And so it's only gonna get worse from here of that, bully mindset. Closing thoughts. The shift is happening. Like I mentioned earlier, we are currently at 248 years as a nation. History tells us that empires start shifting around 250 years. We are in that shift right now. Economically, politically, socially, everything is moving very fast. Some are fighting to hold on to old power structures. Others are waking up and realizing that change is inevitable. So, what is our move? We need to stay educated, read, research, question everything. Stay strategic, pick your battles wisely. Shh, don't talk. Build your own, create businesses, network, and create financial security for yourself and your family. Most of all, protect your peace. Drink your tea, light your candles, mind your energy. Because at the end of the day, we have to take care of ourselves. And I'm going to wrap it up here with some good news. I'll put this here too. You guys can try to find me here. You have business inquiries. And if you guys want to support the page, you can support me here at Cash App. Just putting these last little tidbits before I head on out. And follow me here on all my platforms. Okay? So I'm going to put this here. And then we'll get into my final thoughts. So before I let you go, I want to end on a high note. The good news is there are people fighting the good fight every day. People pushing for change, protecting rights, and keeping history alive. We are not alone. Your to do list is to register to vote, support black businesses, support people of color, support. There's a new term, the MAGA, they're changing it to from Make America Great Again to Mexicans ain't going no anywhere. Mexicans ain't going anywhere. I love that. They have t-shirts and shirts. Support all of that. Take care of your health, build your knowledge base. And that is it for this episode of pop politics, for pop culture, for politicking with Nico. But also, before I let you go, I want you guys to remember that black women do not need to be Rambo. We made it through then, we'll make it through this time. What type of life do you want to lead? You want to create spaces and be intentional with your social interaction. You want to keep your peace, save your energy. Your sense of smell makes up 70% of your emotional well being. So that's why I said before, light the candles, smell good. There is an extension burst happening, a shift in ideals and mindsets of the American people and of the world. It's like a wrecking ball, a reconvening, an American requiem, if you will. They see it, we see it. Wealth is resources and social energy. Anything that has value when money is no longer the value. So just remember, the revolution will not be televised or socialized via the media. I hope you enjoyed today's episodes. Until next time, I will see you on Politicking with Nico. This is your girl, Nico Nicole, and I thank you for having me. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.